In this video, we will learn the three methods of treatment of goodwill on retirement of partner. The first method is adjustment of goodwill through partner's capital or current accounts. The second method is to raise goodwill to full value and write it off. And the third method is to raise goodwill to retiring partner share and write it off among the gaining partners in gaining ratio. We'll begin with the first method, which is adjustment of goodwill through partners' capital or current accounts. The journal entry for this is gaining partner's capital or current account debit to the retiring partner or any other sacrificing partner's capital or current account. And the amount to be debited or credited to the partner's capital or current accounts will be equal to the value of goodwill of the firm multiplied by the share of gain or sacrifice of each partner. Narration: being goodwill adjusted on retirement of partner. Second method, here we will raise goodwill to full value and write it off. We will have to pass two journal entries in this method. In the first journal entry, we will raise goodwill to full value, and in the second journal entry, we will write off the goodwill. Journal entry for raising goodwill to full value: we'll debit goodwill account with the value of the goodwill of the firm and credit this to all the partners' capital or current accounts in their old profit sharing ratio. Narration: being goodwill raised to full value. So we will debit goodwill account with the goodwill of the firm and credit the partner's capital in the case of fluctuating capital method or current account in the case of fixed capital method in their old profit sharing ratio. After raising the goodwill, we will have to write off this goodwill. The journal entry for writing off goodwill: continuing partner's capital or current account debit to goodwill account. And we will credit the goodwill account with the value of the goodwill of the firm and debit it to the continuing partner's capital or current accounts in their new profit sharing ratio. Narration: being goodwill written off among continuing partners in new profit sharing ratio. So these are the two journal entries to be passed in the second method, where goodwill is to be raised to full value and then written off. Third method, when goodwill is raised to retiring partner's share and then written off. Here the first journal entry is to raise goodwill to retiring partner's share, and the second journal entry is to write off the retiring partner's share of goodwill among the gaining partners in their gaining ratio. The first entry for raising goodwill to the retiring partner's share is goodwill account debit to retiring partner's capital or current account, being goodwill raised to retiring partner's share. And the amount for this journal entry is equal to the value of goodwill of the firm multiplied by the retiring partner's share in profits. So we've raised goodwill to retiring partner's share. We will write it off among the gaining partners in their gaining ratio. So we will debit the gaining partner's capital or current account and credit goodwill account Against the goodwill account, we will write the retiring partner's share of goodwill, and we will debit the gaining partners for this amount, which is divided between the gaining partners in their gaining ratio. So retiring partner's share of goodwill is to be written off among the gaining partners in their gaining ratio. So these are two journal entries which need to be passed in the third method. The first one is to raise the goodwill to the retiring partner's share, and the second journal entry to write off the retiring partner's share of goodwill among the gaining partners in their gaining ratio. We've discussed the three methods of treatment of goodwill on retirement. Please remember, the net effect of all these three methods is the same. Whether we follow the first method or the second method or the third method, the net effect of all these three methods will be the same. Now, in the absence of information, which method do we follow? The default method to be used in the absence of information is the first method that we discussed, that is adjustment through partner's capital or current account. So in the absence of any information given, we will use the first method of adjusting the goodwill among the partner's capital or current accounts. So unless they specifically say in the question that goodwill is to be raised to full value and written off, or goodwill is to be raised to the retiring partner's share and written off, we will follow the first method of adjusting the goodwill amount through the partner's capital or current accounts. So now that we've learnt the three methods of treatment of goodwill at the time of retirement of partner, in the upcoming video, we will see how we will deal with the existing goodwill, that is goodwill which is already appearing in the books at the time of retirement of partner.